Hello everyone, welcome yet again to another one of our YouTube videos. My name is Kweronda Ambrose and I'm a wedding planner at parties and events. In today's video, we are discussing the best 5 wedding venues in Uganda and in Kampala especially. So if you are planning a wedding, or if you have a relative planning one, you will definitely find this video very useful and very informative. So while we discuss the venues, we are not just going to be listing them by name, just giving location. We are going to go deep, and so we are going to be examining each of these venues, what makes them tick, and what their prices are, because I believe that is a very important factor for anyone planning an event. You definitely want to know, okay, the venue is good, or it is ideal, but what is the cost associated with hiring it, and what other elements is there to know about them. So as a wedding planner, we've worked with many of these venues on the list. We've actually worked with so many venues, over 50 venues just in Kampala. But we've limited this particular video to only 5 venues because we want to give you a foundation for your search, so you can use this as just the foundation, all the base, get to know information about wedding venues here and there, and then you can enlarge your search. Alternatively, the best option would be to go to our website, partiesandevents.com. There you will find over 200 venues that you can choose from with different budgets. So it doesn't matter what your budget is, you'll definitely find a venue of your choice. And why venues? I believe a venue is very important when planning your event, because it is a chain, it is a link that kind of holds everything together. And usually I advise couples, if you're planning an event, one of the first vendors that you should consider, one, a wedding planner. But if you're not considering using a wedding planner, then a decorator. Okay, I know decorators a lot of time will ask you, so what is a venue? It is okay if you don't have a venue right away, all right? But it would be important to first get in touch with a planner or a decorator or event stylist before you go ahead and choose your venue. I know sometimes people are attached to different venues, that's why they'll be like, I'm choosing this venue no matter what. That is also okay. A decorator or a planner would be able to work around with the venue that you've already chosen. But if you're open-minded, or if you have a concept that you're trying to nail, or an experience that you want to create, you're like, I want my guests to feel this way when they get to my reception or to my ceremony, and I want them to live with this impression, or I want to create this kind of ambience. It would be advisable to first get in touch with a wedding planner, and then you can go ahead and look at the different options depending on the kind of concept that a planner develops or an event stylist develops. And so that being said, let's dive in. Let's look at these top 5 wedding venues in Uganda. And so the first one our best. We are doing it in an ascending order, so we are starting from the best and going downwards the list. The best on our list is Lake Victoria Serena Resort. A lot of people call it Serena Chigo. Definitely it is located in Chigo, and it is definitely framed by Lake Victoria. That is why it is called Lake Victoria Serena. It is the second Serena among the conglomerates hotels in Uganda. Definitely Serena has a lot of hotels internationally and throughout East Africa. They have hotels in Mombasa, in Zanzibar, in Nairobi, but in Uganda they have two. They have the Lake Victoria Serena Resort, and they also have the Kampala Serena. So this particular one that we are looking at is the Lake Victoria Serena Chigo or resort. And so what makes Lake Victoria Serena tick? What puts it at the top of this list of the top 5 wedding venues in Uganda? First, there's a lot of things that we've considered to rank it as the best. First of all, it is the price. The price is really good, really attractive. Secondly, it is the location. Definitely it is a resort, and so it is surrounded by Lake Victoria, and as you can see on the pictures or the video that we've attached, you can see how beautiful it looks. It has very beautiful gardens. It has very nice, they call them Tuscan estate style. They are rooms, and so definitely if you're booking the venue, it also comes with a room. This is one of the features, all the items that come with the venue that we are going to be talking about as regards to Lake Victoria Serena. So I think those are about 3 items that we've listed. The location, we've talked about the fact that it is a resort surrounded by Lake Victoria. We also talked about the meticulously catered to gardens, very beautiful flowers, very good greenery, but also the service. Definitely Lake Victoria Serena is a top ranking hotel in Uganda, and so it doesn't just rank well because of the architecture or the buildings. It ranks well because of a service as well. And so if you are the kind of person who wants an exclusive service, Lake Victoria Serena is a no-brainer. It is the best option for you. So what kind of venues do they have? So definitely each of these venues that we'll be talking about, they have different venues. So for example, they have halls or they have gardens. And so when it comes to Lake Victoria Serena, they have 3 options for venues. One is the Coliseum. Some people may call it a Coliseum. It is a Coliseum Garden. The Coliseum Garden hosts about it hosts a maximum of 1,000 people, according to the Lake Victoria Serena Resort website. But definitely we've done functions there, and I can tell you from the fact that you could host even up to 2,000 people if you wanted, if you weren't worried about space or squeezing your guests a little bit. But definitely it sits up to a maximum of 1,000 people. And according to me, the Coliseum is the best option. It is a very beautiful garden. It is constructed to imitate the Italian Colosseum. I don't know if you guys have looked at it in movies, or it is one of the top tourist destinations in Europe. And so it is the other thing, it is a distance away from the hotel, so from the residences. And so that is very good, because it means, one, you don't have to worry about inconveniencing guests, the residents who are staying in the hotel. But then two, you don't have to worry about privacy issues, definitely. So if your reception is going to be at the Coliseum, you won't have incidences of residents, or clients who are staying into the hotel, snooping into your event and what. So it is definitely a distance away from the residences. It is in a Coliseum kind of design. The architecture is very, very beautiful. It has this kind of ancient look, not really rustic, but the ancient kind of the rich, I think I call it antique. I think the antique kind of look. And so it is a very, very good venue. If you've not checked it out, just drive over to Serena, Chigo. You can just go in and check it out. I'm very certain you will love it. But also the other issue, I think I talked about exclusivity. A lot of these other venues that we list on our list, you'll find that when you have an event there, they have about 2 gardens or 3, and then a number of halls. I think the minimum being 3 with each of these venues. And so you're going to find that it is your wedding day, but then you're having other couples passing by and crossing by, and you're having bystanders, and you're having a lot of activity going on. So I'm the kind of person who loves exclusivity. If it is my wedding, I want to feel like the entire place, is just made for me. And for me, if I was planning an event for a client like that, I would want something like that for them. You want to give a client this exclusivity, for them to feel like the whole world around them is just about their day. But when you're at a venue and you're having about 4 other couples getting wedded the same day, their reception, you look on the left, there's a reception. You look on the right, is another couple's reception. It takes away, the fairy tale kind of feeling. It feels like, well, it's just another wedding. I wouldn't want my client to feel like that. So I would definitely recommend Serena for that. So I said they have 3 options of venues. One is the Coliseum, which I've talked about. It sits up to 1,000 people. It can sit more, definitely. The other one is the Pool Garden. The Pool Garden sits about, it sits a maximum of 300 people. So this one is very close to the hotel, very close to the reception hotel area, and a few residences. It is surrounded by residences, but it is beautiful. It is a small garden, so that is why you have a maximum of 300 people. Then the other option is indoor. So this is the Kalangala Hall. The Kalangala Hall sits a maximum of 180 people. So if you have a very small wedding, it could do for you. But again, I would advise, if you have 180 people, sitting them within that hall might feel a little bit they will be squeezed definitely. So maybe if you have less than 100, that is when you would consider the indoor hall. But if you have over 200 people and you want to do your event indoor, Lake Victoria Serena Resort isn't for you, because their indoor venue sits a maximum of 180 people. So the other issue to consider is the price. Right now, you're definitely probably wondering, so how much does Lake Victoria Serena Chigo charge? The charges for the different venues. First, we said they have 3 venues. One is a Coliseum, which sits up to 1,000 people. This is the gardens. If I didn't mention it, it's the Coliseum Gardens. It's outdoor, so you would need a tent. The second venue that we talked about at Lake Victoria Serena is the Pool Garden. The Pool Garden sits up to a maximum of 300 people. Then the third one is the only indoor venue for weddings that they have. It is the Kalangala Hall. The Kalangala Hall, as I mentioned before, it sits a maximum of 180 people. So yeah, so that's it for the prices. And then how about the menu? How much do they charge? That is an important factor. The menu, the price of the drinks and the food is also very important. Definitely, if you have 1,000 people, the menu price means something very big. If you have 1,000 people and maybe a plate of food is 100, I'm not saying it's a price for Serena. I'm going to mention their price shortly, but you can see, so the amount of food or the amount of money that you have to pay. And you will see that their price is different from the Kampala Serena, as we'll see later on. So that is the first venue, Lake Victoria Serena Chigo. I've talked about the different gardens they have, the different venues they have, their prices, their menu prices. Okay. So that's it. The second wedding venue on this list is Peak Resort Munyonyo. I think Peak Resort Munyonyo has hosted more weddings than any other venue in Uganda ever since it started. And there's a lot of factors as to why it ranks as a venue or as a top choice wedding venue for many couples. One is its strategic location. So it is near town, a few minutes, probably 10 or 15 without traffic jam. Without traffic jam, it's just like 10 minutes from town. With traffic jam, it could go anywhere from 30 to an hour. But the thing is, it is very close to town. So it is located in Munyonyo off Gaba Road. But then the other factor is that its scenery. Peak Resort Munyonyo is very, very beautiful. I'm very sure if you've been there, you can attest to this. Definitely, it is at the shore of Lake Victoria, just like Serena Chigo that we've talked about previously. It is also at the shore of Lake Victoria, but then it also has beautiful architecture. It has very awesome gardens. The people that take care of it do a very wonderful job of ensuring that it remains green. It has very beautiful flowers. It has very beautiful gardens, and also it has very good, service. Definitely, being one of the top hotels in Uganda. It is also a top choice for many conferences, not just in Uganda, but throughout East Africa. So a lot of people choose it for, a lot of factors: strategic location, scenery, but it is also very affordable, yet it is very beautiful. And so, what kind of venues does Speak Resort Munyonyo have? It has 6 gardens, and it has 3 indoor venues, halls, all options, whatever it is that you might want to call them. So that is a total of 9 venues. And so this is why I was telling you that Speak Resort Munyonyo has probably hosted more weddings than any other venue in Kampala. So I'll go into further details into each of the gardens and each of the indoor halls. But one thing to note though is the fact that no matter the type of hall or garden that you choose, the prices are fixed. All right. So for the gardens, the price is fixed. It is 2.5 for the outdoor venues, for the gardens. Whether you choose a garden that will seat 50 people, or whether you choose a garden that can seat up to 3,000 people, the price of the venue stays the same. It is 2.5. The halls, on the other hand, are very pricey. So for the halls, they charge 7.5, and this is also regardless of the size of the hall that you choose. However, their halls are really huge, really big. They can seat up to also 1,000 people. We've done different functions there. We've done functions from halls, but we've also done functions from gardens. And so definitely it comes down to you and your budget or your preferences, and also the kind of experience or ambience that you want to create for people. Definitely, having very beautiful gardens, many people choose outdoor options because the gardens are very beautiful. And definitely, why would you choose a resort if you're just going to be indoor? Right? I don't mean to say that people who choose indoors don't have their reasons to choose them, but I'm just saying that outdoors are really beautiful. You're against a backdrop or a background of nature, getting fresh air and fresh wind coming in, having beautiful scenery around you. So different people have different reasons for choosing the venue, but a lot of people stay away from Speak Resort Munyonyo for the same reasons. It is popular. So for example, I talked about exclusivity, all privacy, and I've talked about the number of weddings that Munyonyo has, or the number of venue options that it has. And so that means at any particular weekend, on any particular Saturday, there is a very high probability that you're going to have about 2 or 3 weddings, and that is sometimes the minimum at Speak Resort Munyonyo. Okay? But then there's also another factor that you're going to have couples who are not having their reception there, but they are coming in to take pictures because the place is very beautiful. It has a very beautiful scenery and very beautiful gardens. And so if you're someone who is looking at exclusivity, then Munyonyo might not be the place for you, because you're going to run into other couples. If your venue is outdoor, you're going to be in your tent, and when you walk out and you look across on the left side or on the right side, you're going to find that there's another reception. But the good thing though is that the gardens are quite spaced, and so usually you won't have an issue with one venue interfering with the other, or with the sound of from one reception interfering with the sound of your wedding. That is not so much likely, but there are venues, they have gardens that are very close to each other, and so during busy seasons, busy wedding seasons, probably from September up to around Jan, the place is very, very busy. We've been to Munyonyo and you find that they have about 6 or 7 weddings, and so you can imagine the traffic jam, the commotion, and also then you have the other issue that the venue, the place it's a resort, it's open to the public as well. So a lot of people are coming in for all the different activities, to have lunch, or they're just coming to swim, or they're just coming to tour the place, and so it can get really crowded. If you're not the type of person who loves crowds, that might not do for you. But if you don't mind crowds, you don't mind exclusivity, it's fine. But there are also certain people who like, what should I call it? I've forgotten the word. Like bandwagon kind of stuff. You want to be in an environment that feels all weddings. You look this side, it's a wedding. You look this side, that kind of, you want, like when you walk in town and it's Valentine's Day, everyone is carrying flowers, everyone is selling a Valentine's gift. So there are people who like that, but if you're not the type that likes that, then you might consider other options. I mean, if you're to choose Munyonyo, I would advise you to visit the place on a Saturday. The weddings coordinating office is always open. The ladies there are very lovely, very friendly. They will take you around, so you can go there on that day. Usually that office, actually, I've forgotten, that office usually closes on Saturday. If I'm not very certain, but I think usually it closes on Saturday and Sunday. But it's usually open. They will tell you they don't work, but usually it's open because I think they have to coordinate things here and there. So I would advise you to walk there over the weekend, take a tour, see what is happening and see if you like the experience. If you're not bothered by, how busy the place is, it's good, yeah, but I think there are trade-offs, the beauty and the price of the venues, but also the price of their food and drinks that I'm going to discuss here. There are trade-offs. So you might say, I like this, but I don't like this. I'm comfortable with this. I can compromise with this. This I can't. So that's why I advise you to go visit Speak Resort Munyonyo and find out for yourself. So let me go over the 6 garden options that Speak Resort Munyonyo offers. There's the lakeside. There's the flag mast garden. This is the one that you see when you get in, directly opposite the pool area, where there's a lot of flag posts. So that garden there. There is the pool area. This is the one that is very close to the entrance. As soon as you get in on your right, the pool where there's a swimming pool, the general swimming pool, there's that garden. But then there's also the other garden that is the other side of the Commonwealth presidential shoot residential area. There's also that garden. For me, that garden is my favorite because it feels like exclusive. It feels like it is cut off from all the other venues that Munyonyo offers. And the other thing is it is a private garden because it has a private swimming pool. That swimming pool is for the presidential suite residences, and I think that is why they call it the Commonwealth pool. So for me, that would be my favorite. But it also has a number. It has a limit to the number of people you can host there, and I think it can host up to about 500 people. But usually they will tell you less. But yeah, so there's that also. There's the Mango Garden. Then there is the Peace Hub Garden, and there is Marina. Yeah, so those are the 6 different garden options that Speak Resort Munyonyo offers. Like I already told you, they are 2.5, the gardens, regardless of whether it sits 50 people or whether it sits 2,000 people. All the gardens are 2.5 M, 2.5 Ugandan shillings, all right? It doesn't matter how many people you want to host, but each garden, that is a price. Even if you have 50 people, you'll go to the weddings coordination office and you'll get the same information, all right? So then let's go to the indoor options. I mentioned that they have 3 options, all 3 halls for indoor weddings. So these are the different options that Speak Resort Munyonyo offers for indoor events. They have different ballrooms or halls. The first one is Victoria Ballroom. This is probably the commonest. It can sit any number of people because it is very huge, including in thousands. So it also has it is also kind of isolated from the other venues all around, and so it gives you this feeling of exclusivity and privacy if you would like it. It has also a dining area where your guests can eat from instead of eating from the hall if you're considering that option. Or an area where you can set up cocktails and make it like a cocktail area where you can welcome guests as they come in, or where guests can get leg room to move around before the event starts. So it has that hall, the Victoria Ballroom. The other option is Speak Ballroom, and then the other option is Commonwealth Banqueting Hall. So for each of those rooms, they charge 7.5, regardless of the size of a room, and also regardless of the number of guests you have. So even if you have 100 guests, you're going to have to pay 7.5 for any of those ballrooms or those halls. All right, so then what do those respective packages come with? So when you book a venue, any venue at Munyonyo, they are going to give you chairs, they are going to give you tables, banqueting tables. Usually these are 10-seaters, but they also have the square ones, so you can choose. They're also going to give you, if it's indoor, their rooms have AC. Of course, they have lighting, but I should warn you that that lighting is not sufficient. So the other item is what does each of those packages come with? So the different packages, for example, for outdoor venues, the complementaries are different from those of indoor venues. So this is what you get when you book an outdoor venue. You're going to get plastic chairs, you're going to get tables, you're going to get glasses, you're going to get cutlery, and also linen, table linen. They also give you service personnel. These are like ushers, an event manager, to run your event, make sure that food is coming at the right time, and things are going as they're supposed to go. However, this is not a planner, okay? This is someone at the venue. He's on the side of the venue, and their role is to ensure that their food is served as it should be served. But they are not there to to run your entire function. But their job is just to ensure that you get the venue that you paid for, and you get the complementaries that you offered with the venue. The other complementary that I didn't mention is that they are going to give you free accommodation for the night as a couple in a single room suite, and that comes with bed and breakfast. The third best wedding venue in Uganda on this list is Kampala Serena Hotel. Now, I've already talked about Serena. Don't confuse it with the resort Serena. That is different. It is in Chigo. You can use Munyonyo Express to get there. But this is Kampala Serena, located in the city center, just almost opposite Parliament, or opposite the President's office. This is where you will find Kampala Serena. Just mentioning it, for someone probably who doesn't live in Kampala or in Uganda, who may not know where exactly it is located, but it is in the city center. And so definitely also people choose it for the sake of exclusivity, but also Kampala Serena has a very, very rich history. And actually, I think 2 years ago, all three, CNN named it one of the best locations, or the best hotels where lawyers like to stay. And by lawyers, we are meaning kings and queens. And so Kampala Serena has hosted a number of lawyers, including Queen Elizabeth II, and other kings and queens that I won't go into mentioning, but probably over 10 of them, those who have come to Uganda, they mostly choose Kampala Serena. But also, that is not just why it is a very good location for weddings. One, we can talk about proximity, the fact that it is in the city center. So if you're wedding anywhere within Kampala, and you don't want to struggle with traffic jam, and you just want to move from church to your venue, Kampala Serena is ideal. Very close to Namirembe Cathedral, very close to Rubaga Cathedral, very close to All Saints, very close to Watoto Church, very close to the biggest, all most popular churches around Kampala. But also, besides the issue of proximity, Kampala Serena is very, very beautiful. The architecture is beautiful, but also the gardens are very beautiful. I think it has about 19 acres of, very well catered to gardens, with waterfalls and, artificial waterfalls, but that look really, really natural. So it is really beautiful. It is in the city center, but once you're in, or once you move around and see all these beautiful gardens and the waterfalls, you kind of feel like you're very far from town. You feel like you're out of town. You feel like you're at, a different kind of area. So that is the kind of ambience it creates. And I'm not sure many people choose it as a wedding reception, for that particular reason or for those particular reasons. But I'm very certain this is why most people will choose it. Even exclusivity. And I talked about the history. It has been here for a very long time. Initially, it used to be called Nile Hotel. I think it has changed names a number of times. Initially, it was Nile Hotel, but then I think this international conglomerate, Serena, came in and bought it, renovated it, and made it look extremely beautiful and more elegant. Kampala Serena has 3 venue options, but of late, from my personal experience as a planner, I've seen them add another option. But let me first mention the 3. They have the garden. This is where you have, I think, the helipad. Usually where there's a helipad where a chopper can land. That is one of the areas. That is the garden. But then the other 2 are, into their halls. So you have the Victoria Hall, and then you have the Katonga Hall. So what are the different charges for the different venues? The gardens, they charge 5 million, and it can sit between 700 to 1,000 people, or even more, depending on how you arrange the area. Then there is Victoria Hall. Victoria Hall, they also charge 5 million. It can sit up to 450 people. Then they have Katonga Hall. Katonga Hall can sit up to 200 people, and they charge 3.5 for it. Of recent, I don't know if it was just because of COVID, but they also have this small garden that they call the Mystic Garden. It is between the conference center and the hotel itself. So there's a very small garden. So if you have a very few people, a number of maybe less than 100 people, you can also go for that garden. I think they also charge it 5M according to my experience. And so those are the venues, the different venues that Kampala Serena offers. Those are the different charges. And so the next thing is, what do they offer with the package of the venue? One, they'll give you chairs and tables. They'll give you cutlery. They'll give you glasses. They'll also give you linen. Okay. And then they also offer a complimentary room for the couple, and that is on bread and breakfast basis. But I should also mention that on the chairs and tables they provide, and the chair linen, all the chair covers and the table linen that they provide, those they will account for only 800 people maximum. So if you have more than 800, you'll have to hire the rest of the staff from out. But I think 800 is a good number, definitely, because a lot of people will, the average number of guests on any wedding is 500. So 800 is definitely on the upper hand. And so I feel like what they give a complimentary is sufficient for your guests. The number of chairs they are going to give you, the number of tables or linen that they are going to offer you is sufficient. Now the other issue is the menu. What is their buffet? So for weddings they offer a buffet at different rates. They have 3 different packages of buffet. But then they're also affected by the numbers. So If you have over 200 people, then probably each plate they are going to reduce for you 5,000. But first, let's look at the different menu packages. So the package for weddings is definitely, the menu is a buffet, and it comes in 3 different packages. So the first package is 120,000 per plate. The second package is 100,000. The third package is 90,000 shillings. However, for each of these packages, they will give you a discount if you have 200 people and above. So for example, the one of 90, if people are more than 200, then you'll pay 85,000, and so on with the rest of the packages. And so how much do they charge for the drinks? Soft drinks, that is water or soda, is 4,000. A bottle of beer is 10,000. A glass of juice is 12,000. The fourth best wedding venue in Uganda on our list is Mestil Hotel and Residences. Mestil is just located here in town, in Nsambia, on Barracks Drive. So if you're coming from Mukwano Industries, you take that road as if you're going to Chibuli. So on the Barracks Drive, that is where you'll find Mestil. I think a lot of people choose Mestil because of its proximity, the fact that it's in town, but it's also a relatively new hotel, one of the best new hotels in Kampala. It has good management, and I think people appreciate the service, but also it looks nice. Their halls are nice. If you see events or weddings that have been done at Mestil, you will definitely appreciate them. You will definitely appreciate the beauty of their halls. But it also has an element of exclusivity because, for example, they have only one garden. So for outdoor areas, you'll only have one garden. And so it means on any particular day, on any particular weekend, you're going to have, the garden is only going to be occupied by one event, not where you have a number of events or a number of weddings. One is on your left, one is on your right, which is the case with Speak Resort Munyonyo. But at Mestil, it will just only be your wedding. I also like their garden. I think it's beautiful. I've seen it have issues when it really rains a lot, but if the rain is minimal, the water moves. It doesn't soak up too much water, but if the rain is too much, sometimes you'll face the challenge of the place being damp. But if you're worried about that, then you can use the indoor halls. However, the indoor halls are limited by space, right? It's not like the garden where you can host any number of people. With halls, you're limited. And so let's look at the different halls that they have, and then we'll discuss about them. These are the indoor hall options that Mestil Hotel offers. I'm just going to go over them and their capacity. So the first one is Bunyonyi Hall. Bunyonyi Hall sits up to 250 people, but definitely that number can be increased. It depends on how you want to sit your guests on your seating charts, or what concept you're trying to achieve with your event designer or planner. The next hall is Mavida Ballroom. This one sits up to 150 people. The other one is Joga Hall. Joga Hall sits up to 130 people. Definitely for these two, the last two that I've mentioned, you can squeeze in extra people. Definitely, no one is going to restrict you to just that number. After all, the hotel also wants money from food and drinks. So if you can squeeze in a few people, that should be fine. They should fit in. That mentioned, I've told you the number, the different halls that Miss Steele has, and the number of guests that they can sit. I've also talked about their garden, their outdoor event, the garden, which can sit 700 or even 1,000 people, or even more, because it is really huge. That will definitely depend on the concept of your event and the planner or event designer that you'll be working with. So what are the prices for these venues? Now, the prices might have changed, but the last time I checked, which was this very year, the garden was at 7M, and the halls were at 5M. Maybe prices could have changed or not. I will just advise you to go ahead and give them a call and find out yourself. The same with the menu. The venue comes with chairs and tables, cutlery, glasses, and also a complimentary night for the couple. The last and final venue on our list of the best 5 wedding venues in Uganda is Sheraton Hotel, Kampala. Definitely everyone knows Sheraton. Sheraton Hotel is a very resilient business and hotel. It has been in existence now for 55 years. Yes, definitely not as Sheraton, but the structure itself. It was initially built in 1967 to honor the late president, ex-president, Uganda's ex-president, Milton Obote. But then it has gone through a lot of changes and a lot of regimes until it was recently, the latest change it has gone through, it was taken over by the Sheraton Group. Definitely you understand that Sheraton Group owns hotels internationally, and so it went through a very rigorous renovation to make it what it is today. But it still maintains its honor. It is still pristine and beautiful, even after all these years. I think it is, if you compare it to hotels, to the same hotels of its age, it is the most beautiful, it's the most outstanding, because it is still competing with these new hotels that were recently built, and it still looks beautiful. It still has a crowd, and in fact, if you're planning to use to host your guests at Sheraton Hotel, you might want to book early, because if you book late and you think that the venue will be available long enough, you might be surprised. So here is the wedding package for Sheraton Hotel, Kampala. The menu, the buffet is 120,000, and so that means it comes with the following complimentary: a bridal room for the bride and groom. That comes with bread and breakfast. They will give you chairs and tables. chair covers, table linen, cutlery, glasses. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The cost of other things like drinks, soft drinks, that is water or soda, is at 4.5. Beers are at 10,000. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That was a list of the top 5 wedding venues in Uganda. I know this list is limited. It just has only 5. It gives a few options, but it is also important to study and observe, because in there we've mentioned a number of things, why some venues stand out, why you might want to choose this venue of the other. Also, we've discussed a number of things that each venue offers. And so this can guide you while you search for other venues, even those that are out of this list. Definitely, people have many more options. I've mentioned earlier on that we have over 100 venues on our website. And so, yeah, you can go on and search for these venues, but this video will guide you. It helps you to build the foundation and to see what else to consider. We are planning to also do more videos of other venues, maybe the top 20 venues or the top 10 outdoor venues to choose from. But in the meantime, you can head over to our website. I'm going to leave links in the comment section down below. You can look at them, and in the description you can look at them and follow them to our website and find more venues. If there's something that you want us to address, maybe do a video about, please let me know. You leave your comment in the comment section. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being an awesome audience. If you like the video, don't hesitate to like it or subscribe, and please don't hesitate to ask any questions that you may have. Thank you.